Hello, SEMO, and welcome to Hawks Nest. I'm your host, Kyler Messenger, joined by my friends, Molly Faust and Tryston Doobie. This week, we're going to bring you right to the mat for the final Gymhawks story of the year. We're going to tell you some breaking news, and we're also going to bring you to the softball field for some SEMO softball stories. All that coming up next on this week's edition of Hawks Nest. All right, you guys, we're going to cut to the Gymhawks mat pretty quick here. Molly, go ahead and tell us what you got this week.
Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite SEMO athletes, Taylor Ingle. For the full story, see Camden Hutton's article on southeastarrow.com. Ingle was named 2026 MIC Co-Athlete of the Year for the second season in a row, and since 2025, she's competed in 29 straight all-around competitions. The week before Nationals this year, Ingle earned the all-around title at a conference meet as well as a vault title. She pushed the Gymhawks to conference championships, and this was the Gymhawks' first title in 11 years. Ingle also held a clinic at the Women's Collegiate Gymnastics National Invitational, where she came home with 3 gold medals and 1 bronze. Ingle also earned the national all-around title with a season high of 39.275. And she also earned the WCGINC Outstanding Senior Award as well. Ingle credits head coach Ashley Lawson, who recently won MIC Coach of the Year, and her faith for her success. Ingle recently competed in the NCAA Regionals on April 3rd, tying for 23rd place on vault. She's all around had an incredible season, and I really just hope she had fun.
That's a great story, Molly. It's sad to see the Taylor Ingle stories go for the rest of the semester, but what a season that she had. Now, Taylor Ingle is on the mat. She's getting it done for the SEMO Gymhawks, but she's not the one that's coaching the team. They still have to do some coaching. Tryston, why don't you go ahead and tell us about the coaching that the Gymhawks have?
Yeah, thank you, Kyler. I'm going to try to do my best Molly impression this week getting into the Gymhawks. This is my first time, so very excited to take a look at this team, guys. Like you were saying, led by head coach Ashley Lawson, and like Molly mentioned, just won the Coach of the Year in the conference, leading them to their first conference title in over a decade, guys. So huge job for her. It marks her 3rd time winning this award in 8 years. Yeah, massive deal for her. But she said this year's run was a little different, guys. We're going to take a look into their team, into their season, and a little special number, little special feeling they like to call the feeling of the number 11. They saw the number 11 pop up several times this year, and specifically they rallied around it. Throughout the season, the number kept showing up. Their program best score in 11 years at one of their first tournaments, their first win in Illinois State at this school in 11 years, and they competed in exactly 11 meets before getting to the conference tournament, guys. So that number kept popping up for them over and over. They said, hey, we'll rally around this. They got to the conference tournament, and up on the score flashers, they saw the number 1111. So double 11s, guys, and they said at that point, they knew they were going to win the whole thing. So they are very confident with that going into it. Obviously, it paid off for SEMO because they ended up winning the OVC championship, like I said, first time in a decade that they got there. And then they ended up winning the whole thing. So just another huge event for SEMO. And guys, we keep talking about every week, it seems like, oh, SEMO Sports has this great coach, softball, baseball, basketball, you name it, track, whatever. All these great coaches, we say, hey, it starts at the top, guys. Obviously, athletes like Taylor Ingle are impressive and they get it done on the mat. But it does start at the top, and that's no different than what we've been seeing here, guys, with Coach Lawson.
Very cool stuff, Tryston. You talk about the number 11 that these Gymhawks girls keep going to. Well, let's talk about the softball field. Number 11 on the softball team is actually Camden Hutton, the girl who wrote the story that Molly presented for us today. So the number 11 presenting to be true across all SEMO sports. But before we bring you the SEMO softball story, guys, we got some SEMO breaking news. Now, last week, we told you that BJ Ward, the SEMO guard, entered the transfer portal. He did just that. He's actually committed to a brand new school. Tryston, drum roll please, Molly. Go ahead and tell us where BJ Ward has committed to.
It's a sad day for SEMO fans, guys. Very sad, but BJ Ward has committed to ETSU, Eastern Tennessee State University. It's sad, very sad, but the Buccaneers are a very good program. Finished 23-11 overall, first in their conference with a record of 13-5. That was 2 games above everyone else. So they were already a very solid team, finishing first, obviously, and they definitely picked up an excellent player in BJ Ward. Averaged 10.9, just under 11 points for the Redhawks. He's been here for 3 years. Key, crucial piece to the run that SEMO's been going on the past 3 years. So you hurt to see it. SEMO's definitely going to have to reload. Almodovar has hit the portal, of course, with the portal opening, but he has not committed anywhere, so we will keep you posted on that. But the news is now BJ Ward, guys, out of Southeast Missouri.
I'm disappointed, Tryston. I'm disappointed. I mean, you're here in Southeast Missouri, BJ. Why you got to go to East Tennessee? Just stay here in Southeast Missouri. That's just a little bias on myself, though. Let's talk about the SEMO softball team. Now, they just recently came off of a weekend series against the #1 seeded Eastern Illinois Panthers. And what did SEMO do? They took them down with a final series score of 2-1. This was actually the 98th, 99th, and 100th matchup in history in softball between these two programs. SEMO, as Tryston alluded to last week, is coached by a great head coach in Mark Redburn. Eastern Illinois is coached by 2 co-head coaches. They're the only team in the OVC to have co-head coaches. It's Dan and Christy Paulson, the wife and husband duo. They actually duo coached the Eastern Illinois Panthers. In their first season last year, took Eastern Illinois not only to the OVC regular season championship, they took them to the OVC playoffs and they won the tournament. So SEMO taking on the reigning champs. This is also a rematch of the 2024 OVC championship. These two teams 2 years ago matched up in the finals. So we got some great softball teams, #1 seeded and the #4 seeded SEMO coming into the tournament. And SEMO, honestly, they didn't sweep them, but they honestly dominated. In the first game, it was a very close game. It was a final score of 9-8. The winning run came off the bat of Lily Delmain. She hit it over to the shortstop, Chloe Wambolt, for Eastern Illinois. Wambolt made a good play, but overthrew the first basewoman for Eastern Illinois. That allowed SEMO to score the 2-game winning runs. They won 9-8 in the first game. Then they won 4-3 in the second game, and it was honestly because of Aubrey Shore. Now, Reagan Brannon did have a 2-run home run that game, so let's not forget what Brannon did. But Aubrey Shore had a 2-out, 2 RBI single up the middle, which caused SEMO to take the lead 4-3 and win that game. Because of that stat, Aubrey Shore actually ended up becoming the OVC Player of the Week in all OVC softball. She's the Player of the Week this week for her numbers. She did a 545 average, a 545 average just last week. So if you know softball, if you know baseball, she is hitting 54% of the time cleanly in that week. That's just a crazy stat. In the third game, though, of the SEMO and Eastern Illinois series, SEMO did end up dropping the game. They lost by 2 runs. So they won the first 2 games by 1 run each. They lost the third game by 2 runs. These two teams will most definitely be seeing each other come playoff time. Guys, that's about all I got for this week's episode of Hawks Nest. Thank you for the Gymhawks stories. Thank you to the softball team for competing and giving us some good stories to tell. Next to me, we got
Tryston Doobie
and Molly Faust.
My name, Kyler Messenger. Once again, this was this week's 10th edition of this semester's Hawks Nest. We'll see you next time.